All right, are you ready for some straight talk about sex? So parents or grandparents, aunts and uncles, if you have any little ones around, you might want to move them to another room.
And the perfect person to guide us through this conversation is our very own nurse, Barb, and she is the expert on women's sexuality. Hi, Barb. Great to see you.
Oh, hi. I'm so delighted to be here.
Let's get right to it. First question. Who has more of a sex drive, men or women?
Oh.
All right. Let me help you with that. Contrary to popular belief, sex drive is about the same in men and women, and there's such a thing as desire discrepancy, and that means that it's perfectly normal. In fact, 75 to 80% of couples have a mismatch in how often they want to have sex.
Another question is, all right, if someone is getting on your nerves, you're with them every day, like the last thing you're going to want to do is get naked with them, right? So what do you do when you're stuck with the same person in the house all the time?
So what we know is when you're living with someone, it can sure magnify all of those issues, right? But for women especially, arousal has to come before desire. What do I mean by that? We have to get in the mood before we start to think about being receptive to sex. Now, if you're dating, that can be something as simple as receiving a text message from your partner that says, hey, good luck with that meeting today. If you're in a relationship like Jess, if your partner says to you, honey, I'm going to let you sleep in on the weekend, that can spark your desire, right? So It doesn't necessarily mean watching somebody coming out of the shower. You guys
all
are
of
laughing.
That, all of the above.
Right? Because, like, in my house, we say emptying the dishwasher is foreplay because it tells you that your partner cares about you.
All right, Nurse Barb. I thought it was just buying diamonds, but I mean, if you can just, if you could just wash a dish, you know, why not?
Communication is key. Starts with the good comments. Yes, gratitude and appreciating your partner, right?
Absolutely.
And diamonds.
Yeah, and diamonds. Well,
Nurse Barb, I love where you're going with this. This is totally up my alley. But what about those times where we're really in a rut? I mean, what is the secret ingredient to having that, you know, sexy, steaming, satisfying relationship without actually having to schedule it in or say, okay, on this day, this is what's going to happen, to just have it organically happen?
Okay, well, we want to have it organically happen, but it does take a little preparation. So there's 5 things that really help. And this is from a study. So it's not just me telling you this. This is validated research. Number 1 is variety, because that sparks our brain. And we say, hey, there's a surprise here. It doesn't have to be a big surprise. It could be something as simple as asking your partner to wear a blindfold and feeding them something, or giving them a glass of wine and watching them while they're wearing a blindfold. Number 2, sexual communication. That's before, during, and after. And it can be something as simple as, gosh, you know, I'm a little old-fashioned. It's hard for me to talk about sex. Hey, that's very vulnerable. That's very emotionally intimate. And when you're emotionally intimate, that creates chemistry, that creates sexual intimacy. Set the mood. Now, we all know that candles work, but it also works for us as women to set our own mood. It might mean putting on a pair of sexy underwear and thinking about having sex later, and also not being on our screens until right before we want to have sex. So set the mood in your own mind that, oh, this is probably going to happen a little bit later. Now, this is not G-rated, this is PG-rated, my next tip, and that is when women receive oral intimacy, we are much more likely to want to do that again. And then, of course, coming to sexual satisfaction, having orgasms, of course, then we're more interested in frequency. Here's another tip. Men get turned on when we as women ask for sex. And whether you're in a partnered relationship with a man or a woman, when we ask for sex, our partners get turned on. And then lastly, frequency. So it's kind of like riding a bike, right? You want to have practice. And once you're, and I hear this from my patients when they say to me, gosh, you know, I forgot how much fun this is. And now that we're getting into more of a routine, we're having a lot more fun and we're more interested.
Marvin Gaye knew a thing or two about sexual healing. Nurse Barb, you certainly do too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I hope this really helps people connect more. And if you don't have a partnered relationship, connect with yourself, okay? You've got my permission.
All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.